morning and welcome to Morning Coach. Today, I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's JB. Super pumped you're here. I'm excited. We're rocking and rolling this Monday. It's the 23rd of September, episode number 5463. And as I said, it's Monday. And guess what? Yesterday, I screwed up. How did I screw up? I called it the 21st. I was listening to it and I'm like, oh, geez. And that's what's the worst part about it is the 22nd is my favorite day. And I skipped the 22nd. I didn't. It was yesterday, but I announced it as the 21st. And I think it's important to admit that not everything is perfect. That's what's going to happen. I mean, we've done 5,463 of these. As much as I want to bring you great energy every single day, or Dr. Paul or other guests, sometimes they're just not there, right? Sometimes it happens. You show up, you have a bad race, you have a bad day, and it happens. So I screwed up the date, but that's okay. We're ready to keep moving forward, and we let the dead stay buried and focused on today. And that's what we're going to do. We got an amazing week planned for you, okay? We're going to rock and roll. And before we do that, remember, if you're brand new, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you've been with me for 19 years, welcome. If you've been with me a year, welcome. I'm glad because we're in a due month. This is a coaching system to get energy in the morning, but more importantly, plug into the system. This stuff works. And I'm going to tell you some of the things I'm having success in my life because I experiment with the system to see. Obviously we have a lot of people that are having success, but I also like to share what I'm doing and how it's working. So the basics are take time for self-care. As you know, my non-negotiable is that morning, getting that exercise in, taking care of my nutrition. For everybody, it's different. Make your unique self-care plan. Then, of course, listen to CoachCast. Get here 3, 4, 5 times a week. Really will help you. We're here 7 days a week, as many days as you can, and then work on your perspective, your 7 Ps. Get the right perspective and set those priorities. So critical, okay? And then we'll just get better and focus on improved performance. We're going to talk about that this week. Stay patient. It took time to get where you're at. It's going to take time to get you out. And then have great posture. Stay in the moment and persist every day, okay? And then get the planner out. Get that Sacred 6 organized. Get the consistency area and plan that schedule. For those of you that are more advanced, take a picture. If you're in our membership, when you're really rocking it, send it in. And, of course, stop by the community for accountability questions and support. As you get more involved with this, there's a lot going on. And speaking of that, the meetups are rocking. Okay, there's a couple this week. Karen's doing her business brunch. Again, if you get a chance to stop in, great group there. We actually created circles so the communication could continue. That's on the left side. And then Des is doing his first European meetup, which is internet security. And then he's going to talk about some other things. And it's a European group, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. UTC. Remember, Jurgen, thank you for yelling at me about this every time. I'm trying to go to UTC for everybody all over the world, but check the meetup times in the community. It's really critical because I may misspeak. Look, yesterday I got the date wrong. So make sure you're double checking, okay? Please go into the meetup, you sign up, you click the button, it'll put it on your calendar. You don't want to miss them. Speaking of which, Haley, David, and Cecil have requested a 100-day challenge. If you are ready and you want to make a difference, today is about 99 or 100 days away. I don't know exactly. I think it's 99, might be 100. Starting today from the beginning of the year. So it's a great time to do a 100-day challenge. What we do is we put a spreadsheet together. If you want to join us and do something, I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. I'm going to put it on there today. But then we focus on a 100-day challenge. You can join us. Like I said, Cecil, David, Haley, there's a group that's in there putting the 100-day challenge together. Join them if there's something you want to do. Maybe you want to lose a little weight. Maybe you want to gain a little money. Maybe you want to get your business to the next level. Maybe you want to write your book. This is a great time to take on a 100-day challenge. It's amazing what you can do in 100 days. Really is, if you just get focused. So that's going on in there, okay? So what do you want to do? Decide today so you can start tracking that for the next 9,900 days. So with the new year, we've got a really great start. Okay, let's get into today's topic. I told you what's going on this week, didn't I? I said we got the book study tomorrow. I don't know if I did this. Book study tomorrow. We're finishing Second Mountain. Wednesday, we got the consistency and understanding sticking with the journey. That's going to be a good one. Thursday, we got Ask JB, and we're going to talk about some of the political stuff that's going on. Just a discussion. Don't worry, it's not political. Friday, we're going to talk about financial gain and understanding and staying in touch with your money. Dr. Paul is Saturday, of course, and then we're going to talk about building belief with each other. I got a great week planned. And remember, This Friday, for those of you doing financials, ILD, this is our Financial Friday. So you want to check your spreadsheet and get that organized. If you're new, do not get overwhelmed with all of this. We've got people that are black belts that have been here 19 years. We have people that have been here a year. So understand, we've got to create all that content for everybody. So do not get overwhelmed. Stick to the basics, everybody. But for those of you that are, working second brain, advanced stuff in the membership, remember, Financial Friday is this Friday. Okay, so let's get into this idea of creating a baseline of health, as we've talked about health, fitness, and wellness this month. And the baseline is a really important thing to be thinking about. As we are working on the new planner and structure for 2025, we are adding a health section. Why? Because health is wealth. The truth is, without health, none of this stuff matters. If we aren't healthy, then nothing else matters. Now, again, really critical. This is not about narcissistic, egoic health. This is not about looking in the mirror and going, man, I look good. Now, there's times when I'm feeling really good right now. I'll be honest. I'm working really hard and I'm feeling good and looking good. But that's not where we want to be. We want to understand our health for the true health aspects, the anti-aging, reversing your aging. Right now, I'm reversing my aging. I'm going into the 40s right now in my age. And the reason is because I'm training really hard. I'm eating right, and I'm doing all the things that we should be doing. But we got to look at that. Like, we got to understand where you're at. And that's where it all starts. And that's our baseline. So what could be the baseline? Well, the baseline could be various things. Now, I wear the Whoop tracker, the Aura tracker, and I got a new Garmin watch. Okay, I also have the Apple Watch. Each of these track specific things for me. Now, I'm not telling you to run out and get these things. Many of our members do wear Whoop, but or an Aura. But you understanding you can track without a lot of these devices, but some of the things are critical. And I'll tell you that the ones that I really like. And the first one is HRV, heart rate variability. Heart rate variability is the true indicator of health. A couple years ago, we could not even track it. It's a variation in the heart, and it's how you can handle stress. It's a really cool indicator of health. And the more research that's been done, and David wrote a book on it. You can go in our book study. Maxfield, who's one of our members, actually wrote a book, Up Your HRV. It's a really cool indicator of where you are with your health. Okay, so if you have a Whoop or an Aura or a Garmin, it's going to generally give you the HRV data. I like my Whoop. It's pretty accurate. I've worked on my tricep for 3 years. But understand, this is very important with HRV, heart rate variability. Everybody's unique. Okay, mine, a good one is 80, 85. A good one used to be 60. Okay, so it's elevating. But I have people that I coach that it's 20, and a good one for them is 30. Everybody's HRV is unique to you. So it's not one of those things that you can go on the internet, and I know you will, and say, what's a good HRV for my age group? It's not about that. It really isn't. It's about your individual statistic and measurement. And that's why I like HRV. I'm a big fan of it because it's a true indicator of health, and you can literally see yourself getting healthier, and you'll feel it too, believe me. So that's one of your baselines. It could be. Resting heart rate is another one, a good one. One of the things I like to talk about when I talk about health and fitness, and again, talk to your healthcare practitioner before you do anything crazy, right? We want to make sure you're getting the right advice. But when it comes to heart rate, it's a really interesting thing. So if you think about it, if you just take your hand right now and you start pumping it really fast, try to do 180 beats in a minute. That hand is going to get tired quick. But think about it if you could do 40. Now just think, goosh, goosh, goosh. Compared to goosh, 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 goosh. What is better? Pretty common sense, right? So resting heart rate as we strengthen the cardiovascular system, which is the number one cause of death in the United States and probably in the world. I don't know. I don't want to quote that because there's probably hunger and famine in some areas, but I know that in most areas, cardiovascular disease because of nutrition is one of the biggest killers, is getting that resting heart rate in place. So being able to do some cardio and work on that and understand, we now have an indicator. How is my resting heart rate doing? Is it lowering? Baseline. Okay. So we're getting there. How about flexibility? This is one most people forget, but I'm going to tell you what, as you get older, guess what kills a lot of people? Hips, right? Hips go out, no flexibility. You can't move. You're in trouble. Okay, I've seen it a lot of times. I used to work in senior care facilities. I would volunteer, just go help people because there are a lot of lonely people. And man, all it would take was one slip. We've got to be more flexible. I'm telling you, I started my running in April and I'm killing it right now. Finished second in my last race. Excited about where I'm going with this, becoming an athlete, elite athlete at my age. And one of the problems that I was having was some tight muscles. It was because I wasn't doing mobility work. So flexibility. What's a baseline for that? You know what mine is? You know what my baseline is? When I bend over, can I touch the floor with my fingers? When I lay down, are my hamstrings too tight to touch my toes? So you can actually have a baseline, a physical baseline that you know you're either improving or you're not. And we're going to get into why this is important. So flexibility, strength, we can do by weight. I'm not a big, heavy guy. Like I lift heavy weights every once in a while on my strength day, but I'm not trying to max out. Some people do, but you can kind of feel where you're at. Like when I'm at my 45s on my chest, like my dumbbells, I know I'm pretty weak then. When I'm up to 55, 60, I know I'm getting stronger. And it's just, I'm indicating it by weight. And then, of course, endurance, which is a big one for me, is my 5K mile per hour time, my 10K, my half marathon, and my marathon times. Those are really good indicators, obviously, on my Garmin. My last race was 6:48 per minute in the 5K. I finished second. It was a great time. I want to get that below 6:30, then down to 6:15. I wanted to do sub-20s. But again, baselines, okay? These are key performance indicators for health. And we can all monitor these. Blood pressure is another one. I got a blood pressure cuff upstairs. Just tracking this stuff. I mean, it's your life, right? Isn't it? This is what is just so perplexing for me, for the general population, is that they depend on everybody else to tell them what to do, whether it's their finances, whether it's their health. And most of the stuff we can take on ourselves if you're willing to do a little work. And it's not that much work. And as Zig Ziglar used to say, you don't pay the price, you enjoy the price for this. Okay, so if you don't have a baseline, it's just kind of going in a boat and just steering it, and you don't know if any of the training and nutrition is actually working. Now, some people use weight. I'm not a big weight fan, but because if you gain muscle, you'll also gain a little weight. But I get it. Weight's one of those indicators. Inches is one that I like. I'm not even doing weight or inches, though I do track it just to make sure I'm eating enough. I can eat anything right now, which is great because I'm running 40 miles a week. Went from running nothing to 40. And so I can eat anything. But we've got to understand, is it working or is it not? Is the training that you're working? This is where MorningCoach comes in, okay? It's about consistency. We're going to talk about this Wednesday, but it truly is about the consistent progression of learning. It's not so much the activity. It's actually learning. Does this work? Does this not work? I did this type of training. I can see this type of results. We're learning about zone 2 and running where you don't have to run hard. I can go run 15 miles with 120 beats per minute heart rate, and it's like walking. And I'm getting more benefit than if I try to sprint it. It's pretty crazy. Like we are understanding data and scientific data because we're getting all this research. So when you look at your body and you have a baseline, you can then be consistent and you can go, wow, that food works. That food didn't work. Wow, that helped me sleep. That didn't help me sleep. Tracking your sleep is another great thing. All of a sudden you have these baselines and you get the right circadian rhythm. That's why I scream about the time changes. It literally kills me because I'm very dedicated to my sleep. And so then I'm thrown off an hour. So it takes me time to recover from that. But understand that the consistency that we're doing together is going to be the life changer. And the self-experimentation is what's so critical because we're all different. Every single one of us has a different body, a different mind, a different way we're wired. And once we understand that, then we can utilize a system like MorningCoach to say, okay, I want to improve in this area. And it's like, okay, what am I going to do? And as you start tracking it, as I am, you start to get better and better. And I went from April till now to elite, like really elite. Like I'm running at the 1% of everyone because I use the MorningCoach system and I keep tracking my training. Okay, long, slow days work, sprints work. I need more track work if I want to get under sub 20. But it's all working because of this system and self-experimentation. And health is very individual. And I always tell you, get the right healthcare practitioners. Dr. Paul's here. We got great ones, but find people that care about you and also understand these concepts. If you go to a doctor, right, and you're getting advice and they have no idea about being healthy, They're a treatment doctor, not a preventative doctor. You want to find somebody that's preventative to help you. And of course, we want to focus on nutrition and hydration and making sure we're understanding how much do we need. I'm experimenting pre-race. If I got to go run a marathon, how much hydration do I need the week before? What about carb loading? All these things come from experimentation because there is no cookie cutter answer. Health is an individual metric. So if you establish baselines, we can see if we're improving or not. Is the HRV getting better? Is it increasing? Individual, don't go on the computer, don't go Google HRV and go, what's the average of people my age? No, it's an individual metric. Resting heart rate, individual metric. Blood pressure, obviously that's kind of normal. We could take a group, but understand where you're at. Flexibility, can you touch your toes? Can you not? How far can you bend? Strength, how much can you lift? Golf handicap, let's throw that one out there. What's your golf handicap? That's one. And endurance, how long can you walk a 5K? What about a 10K? Once you get these things in place, we can see progression. And the body and the mind love progression. Like we love to see improvement. That's what we love. And that's why what we do is so critical. If you just are consistent, get here Wednesday, listen. If you understand consistent principles, it's impossible if you're learning every day, you have the right healthcare practitioners, and everybody's working, you're going to learn. Like if you do something, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you drop a pencil on the desk, drop a pencil on the desk, drop a pencil on the desk. Eventually, you're going to be great at dropping a pencil on the desk because you're doing it consistently. And that's the secret. That's why we do this every day. That's why I'm here with you, because I want you consistently working this system. And we're talking about health today, but just imagine your productivity 1 year from now if you buy into this and you start using our planner and you start understanding the things that are important to you. It will change your life, but it's up to you. I can only do so much. You can only lead a horse to water. Will they drink? That's up to you. How committed are you to our systems? If you're committed, get in the meetups, meet people, get involved. It will change your life, but you got to do that. Okay. So I love you. Get out there. Have a great day. It's going to be a great week. And I'll be back tomorrow as we finish our book study on the second mountain. Go do it to it. Enjoy it.